Guaranteed Rate Bowl tonight from a beautiful Phoenix, Arizona at Chase Field, home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's the debut for new Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell. And his star tailback Braylon Allen ready to run amok. He was an MVP in their bowl win a year ago. On the other side, it's a big night for an audition for who might be the quarterback next year at Oklahoma State. Might it be Garrett Rangel for Mike Gundy, whose Cowboys, this program has the best bowl win percentage in FBS history. Hi everybody and welcome to Phoenix. I'm Beth Bowens along with Kirk Morris, and we've got Stormy Bonatoni with us down on the field as we start a brand new era in Madison with Luke Fickell.
Yeah, Luke Fickell, his return to the Big Ten, right? As a player, as a coach, and now returning back as a head coach. And he's going to take this program, he thinks, to different heights over at Wisconsin.
His star tailback ready to go tonight, ready to go next year, and Braylon Allen already back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns.
Well, I hope people are watching, because if they're watching, they're probably going to see a guy who is going to be in the Heisman talk when it comes to the 2023 season in college football. Braylon Allen, one of the top backs in all of college football.
And for Mike Gundy, now in his 18th season, I don't know if he's seen a situation quite like this with his starter in the portal. One of their backups out with surgery, so it's Garrett Rangel tonight.
You mentioned one of his starters who's hurt was his son, Gunnar Gundy, so he's not available. You mentioned the other quarterbacks in the portal, but Garrett Rangel making his third start tonight, had an outstanding performance earlier in the year. Can he build on that one tonight?
Gavin Lam will boot it away. Wisconsin winning the toss and deferring. So Oklahoma State will have a first go. Brennan Presley is the deep man. Both he and Jaden Nixon have kick returns for scores over the last 2 years. And from his own 3, Presley will bring it out and will not get back to the 20 as we check in with Stormy Bonatoni.
Well, Beth and Kirk, we'll talk about it a lot throughout the course of today, but so much has been made of who's not going to be available in this game with the transfer portal and opt-outs, a new world of college football. But for this Oklahoma State team specifically, it's kind of old hat for them to be shorthanded, according to all the players and coaches we talked to this week. Next man up mentality is one of the most familiar phrases in their locker room, because they dealt with so many injuries to notable positions throughout the course of the season, which did include the quarterback position for the bulk of the late season games. But because of that, a lot of these young players, they don't think of as young anymore. They took some lumps, had some forced maturity, but feels like they're better for it now, Beth.
And on the first play of the game, it's into the arms of Brennan Presley, their lead receiver, and he's got the first down. So Garrett Rangel will get the start at quarterback. He's got new running backs behind him. Dominic Richardson, their star tailback, also into the portal, as are 2 of their top receivers out tonight due to injury.
You talk about an interesting bowl preparation for Oklahoma State offensively. This is sort of a new offense that we're seeing right now.
That's Jordan Turner breaking through the middle of that line to get to Ollie Gordon. On the other side for Wisconsin, their top 2 guys off to the NFL with draft expectations for Nate Herbig and Keanu Benton, so a chance for other guys to step up.
Yeah,
or Nick Herbig, excuse me.
It's one of those, it's a Jim Leonard defense, Beth. They're going to be attacking, they're going to be fast flow and multiple with their fronts. You're going to see a lot of that from the Wisconsin defense.
Throw out to the perimeter and miscommunication with John Paul Richardson.
Well, you may see a lot of that, Beth, today as well. So just as much as we're talking about the Oklahoma State offense and all the new factors, they haven't had a lot of preparation. We didn't know who was going to be the quarterback until pretty much this week. And so with that being said, you've got a lot of wide receivers who have grown this season caught up to the sophomore.
Third down, 12. Facing that Jim Leonard defense, the coordinator who's been the interim head coach for Wisconsin the second half of the season. Incomplete, and it's 4th down, intended again for Richardson. Turner was the closest guy there on the coverage, and the punt unit will come on.
And you had a window that you thought was open. Okay, that's what Garrett Rangel thought. He had a window that was open to John Paul Richardson, but as the ball was snapped, that window closed immediately. And that's what Wisconsin's defense is all about, making a quarterback see something that probably isn't there.
Logan Ward to boot it away. Dean Ingram back inside the 30 for the Badgers. A booming blast. Ingram all the way back inside the 10. Takes it at the 6 with some room to maneuver. And he's out to the 29-yard line, and that's where Wisconsin will take over with their new quarterback as well. Things got off to a rocky start for the Badgers. Opened up at 2-3. Then shortly thereafter, head coach Paul Christ was fired on October 2nd. So they finished up with Jim Leonard, went 4-3. A lot of folks thought maybe Jim would get the job, but instead, Wisconsin goes with Luke Fickell, who over the course of the last 5 years has one of the best records in college football from Cincinnati. And just like Oklahoma State, Wisconsin losing its starting quarterback, Graham Mertz, to the portal. He is off to Florida. So a chance tonight for Chase Wolf and Miles Burkett.
Man, you get a senior, Chase Wolf. Hasn't played much because you mentioned the quarterback who started every game this season, all 12 games prior, Graham Mertz. He's in the portal. He's now going to Florida next year. So it's Chase Wolf time tonight as the senior quarterback. So that's why you're going to see a lot of Braylon Allen early.
His first career start, and here is Allen tripped up at the 39-yard line by Lamont Bishop.
Tackle.
The sophomore out of Fond du Lac, over 1,000 yards again this season. 6 times he was over 100 yards in a game. He's back after missing their season finale with an ankle injury against Minnesota.
You know, I'm not jealous a lot of times, but I get jealous when you walk on the field next to Braylon Allen because you think he's a defensive end. You think he's a linebacker, and yet he takes snaps as a running back at 6'2", 235 pounds. Just an unbelievable specimen at the position.
3rd and 1 out of the eye, and bouncing to the outside is Allen across midfield, shoved out of bounds inside the 40. Terrific block on the edge for Jack Nelson. Springs him for 27.
Well, we talk about speed, you talk about athleticism, and let's not forget the vision. You talk about a guy who can go out and find holes that aren't there. He made that run happen because he got all of the defenders to commit, expecting something in between the tackles, and then showing off that speed to the outside. You talk about probably one of the biggest signings for Luke Fickell. I say signing because he decided, I'm going to come back to Wisconsin. That's a signing if you're Luke Fickell.
He's the latest in a long line of outstanding backs at Wisconsin. There's Ches Malusi, taken down by Brock Martin for a loss of 4. Martin, who the coaching staff says epitomizes the Cowboy culture, will be huge tonight considering the fact they lost 4 key defensive starters from their unit.
Well, they lost key starters, but they still got the father of the defense. He's the dad of the defense, Brock Martin, number 9, the 5th-year senior. As long as number 9's out there, everybody falls in line. He's that kind of player. He's been that way all year long with so many young players in the back end for Oklahoma State. They follow the lead of Brock Martin.
2nd down and 14. Wolf on the rollout, has some time, slings it downfield, and it's caught inside the 30. Catch is made by Keontez Lewis, and they'll get 11 yards back there.
It's a nice throw. You haven't seen a lot of Chase Wolf all season long. He only attempted 6 passes all year prior to this, and then today, a couple of early throws. He had the quick throw outside to Allen, and this time with pressure in his face, he sits back and delivers a nice throw. So 2 early throws, or actually 3 early throws for him early on, and to me, looks calm, looks cool in the pocket.
Senior from Cincinnati. Good protection again. He's going to throw it over the top to the 5-yard line, and it's caught by Dean Ingram. And now are they waving it off? They're going to say no on the completion. So incomplete to Ingram. Trey Rucker had the coverage.
Well, I think you saw what I saw. I think you saw what everybody else saw. That ball should have been caught. That ball was thrown. That was a dime by Chase Wolf. That's right in the hands of Ingram. And look, it's kind of weird because his dad's over there calling plays, right? The offensive coordinator, Bobby Ingram. So I don't know who's more upset, son for dropping it or dad who called the right play and the son didn't make it for the touchdown, possibly.
47 yards on this attempt to get on the board first, and it is good. From Nate Van Zelst, and that is his season best. 3-0 Badgers. Field in Phoenix for the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Wisconsin's first possession resulting in the field goal and a 3-0 lead over Oklahoma State. Badgers at 6-6, the Cowboys at 7-5 coming into this one. Wisconsin, by the way, needs a win tonight or it would be their first losing record since 2001. That's, you know, we talk about the tradition of both these programs and now the transition. Forcing the 4th down.
Yeah, Hunter Older, we didn't know if he would play today, right? We saw him warm up during pregame. He's one of those guys that was iffy for this game, but look, you get an opportunity to go out there and play and show what you can do to the new head coach, right? The new head coach, Luke Fickell, he's not necessarily coaching. He's got the headsets on. He's just watching. But a lot of guys are playing for an opportunity for next season under Luke Fickell.
High, and this one's going to be a little shorter. They'll set up Wisconsin with some good field position. Ends up being a 40-yarder, but from their own 41 now for the Badger offense. Well, Luke Fickell said it was the right time for his family and the right culture and community in place in Madison, as well as his return to the Big Ten after becoming the winningest coach in school history at Cincinnati and guiding the Bearcats to the college football playoff last season.
Yeah, indeed. I kind of joked around with him a little bit. I said, you were scared to go to the Big 12. You were scared to see Oklahoma State every season. He says, nah. He's a Big 10 guy at heart and couldn't pass up the opportunity of going back to the Big 10.
Allen slips after the catch. The footing might be an issue with the football field laid down over the top of the baseball diamond.
Yeah, just a bad footing, but then also watch Lamont Bishop go take off. Remember, Lamont Bishop right now, he's playing in place of Mason Cobb. Mason Cobb was a linebacker who started an entire season. He went to the portal, signed with USC, so Lamont Bishop has taken over that spot and already making an impact play in the beginning of this game.
Yeah, they lost 2 of their defensive ends as well as one of their starters in the secondary, Thomas Harper. And there goes the blast. Chaz Malusi hauled down at the 15. Chaz Malusi gets to the edge for 51 yards, and it's into the red zone for Wisconsin.
We turned at the right time. All the people joining us right now get a chance to see Chaz Malusi with a nice little hole and gets to the outside, showing off the speed up the sideline. And early on, this is Wisconsin football, right? This is what they want to do. They want to get everybody hat on hat and allow the running backs to find the right hole, to find the right gap, get to the outside and show off the speed.
First and 10. Out of the pistol. It's more Malusi. And this time the leverage was with Brock Martin, who would not let him get to the outside.
If you got an edge, you got a chance. And Brock Martin said, hey, that's not going to happen again. Like the play prior, there was no edge. This time, Brock Martin, the 5th-year senior, said, I'm going to set an edge, force this football back, make it a nice tackle for loss.
Wisconsin, 21 straight seasons heading to a bowl. They've won 7 of their last 8, and for Oklahoma State, this is their 17th in a row. Winners of 5 of their last 6, and that includes a Fiesta Bowl win last year across town against Notre Dame. Wolf to throw, slings it into double coverage, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Trey Rucker with his second big play of this first quarter in what we believe is his first appearance of the season.
Well, it is his first appearance because he's not on my 2 deep, meaning that he wasn't expected to play. He hadn't played all season long, and now he comes in and makes the biggest play of the game so far. Chase Rucker laying in the weeds, and Chase Wolf on the opposite side just throws up an interception. Never saw Rucker over there by himself making the big play. Now the Cowboys on the move.
Bowl Mania.
This is the Guaranteed Rate Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Downtown Phoenix. Chase Field at 3-0 Wisconsin over Oklahoma State. The Cowboys just intercepting Chase Wolf in the end zone. And they will take over here after the return at the 16-yard line. They've had the ball twice on offense, just 7 plays. They do not have any rushing yards yet in the ball game. And breaking tackles and getting free into the secondary is Stephon Johnson. Inside the 30-yard line. He's got a blocker in front, inside the 5, and he'll take it the distance. 84 yards for the score.
Missed tackles. That's the name of the game. You miss a tackle, and this is what happens. And an unwillingness to want to go down. He doesn't want to go down, Stephon Johnson. He's trying to find the open part of the field, and he does. He's got a convoy in front of him, and it's just speed to the outside. That's an outstanding job by a freshman going out, making a play. Unwilling to go down and fighting his way into the end zone.
A 14-point swing for Oklahoma State if Tanner Brown makes this extra point. After the interception in the end zone, the next play, 84 yards for the score.
It's the freshman got to make plays. Stephon Johnson, ball in hand. Just go be an athlete, go be a player. More importantly, be a Cowboy.
Bowl is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate has lots of great ways to lower your mortgage rates and make buying your first home a reality. Get started at rate.com.
For Oklahoma State, they got together with the kids from the Muscular Dystrophy Association as part of their community outreach. A little bowling, a little laser tag, some arcade stuff. All part of the experience at the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Well, when opportunity knocks, if you're Stephon Johnson, you not only run through the door, but you run 84 yards after you get through it for a score. And on the return, great news for Wisconsin. Chimray DK almost took it the distance. 52 yards. And let's see, is that...
Just making a play. Just got to get to the outside. And DK almost gets there, but Ty Williams, 15, just coming, just showing off the speed, never giving up. Got him by the shoelace, an ankle tackle. That's a touchdown-saving tackle by Ty Williams.
That'll set up Wisconsin in Oklahoma State territory at the 44. So how does Chase respond after the end zone interception the last time they were out there? Well, they'll give it to Braylon Allen first things first. He keeps pushing forward for what appears to be first down yardage, but there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
On the down.
Matt Leffler is our referee. It's an SEC crew tonight.
Now you just got to settle down, Chase, just a little bit. Remember making his first start this season, first opportunity going out, and got to get back to the running game. That interception, got to shake that one off. He didn't see Trey Rucker, who was kind of laying over there on the outside, never saw him. So the interception, something he's got to forget. Best way to do that is heading to Braylon Allen.
So 1st and 15. Couple as they get back across midfield with Allen.
I think you know the assignment for sure. If you're Oklahoma State, you got to stop him at all times.
Hey, we continue bowling tomorrow with a triple header for you. UCF Duke, Kansas, Arkansas, and Texas Tech, Ole Miss. Little Big 12 SEC, a couple of those showdowns. Another great day of bowl games starting at 2 Eastern tomorrow.
Always one of the greatest weeks of the year for me. And people always say, why does Christmas to New Year seems to go by so fast? Because you're watching football all week.
Wall-to-wall ball. Incomplete on the throw. Wolf looking for Eschenbach. Good QB pressure from Xavier Benson.
Just love this defense. And the second half of the season, you can't say Oklahoma State's defense didn't do their part. They have been. Xavier Benson, Lamont Bishop, these linebackers, fast, blitzing, attacking, and that's what their defensive coordinator, Derek Mason, has loved to watch this evolution of his defense this year, which had to grow up playing so many young guys in the back end.
Brady Shipper is the offset back. Cowboys very good third down defense all season. The pass a little behind Shipper. He'll get back to the 49, and that's it. Benson had the coverage once again, and it's fourth down.
Outstanding showing so far from Oklahoma State defensively. When they win first down and second down, they're able to play the coverage that they like. I mentioned the young guys in the back end that had to grow up fast. They were just thrown out there, and they suffered a little bit earlier in the season, but the second half of the season, I really thought they played well, and it was because of that linebackers and the guys up front like Brock Martin and also Sione Asi.
End over end kick. And it bounces inside the 5 and stays out. Down at the 6-yard line, and a 42-yard punt. Jake Chaney was down there to take care of it. Well, of course, bowl season rolls on into Thursday as well. Syracuse, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Florida State, and Texas, Washington, all coming your way on Thursday. It'll start in New York at 2 o'clock Eastern. Building towards Saturday with the national semifinals.
Yeah. Been seeing some purple around
Michigan
downtown
TCU
Phoenix.
or out in
Michigan
Glendale?
TCU. Seeing the Michigan M. A couple of fans and tourists.
So Oklahoma State will actually run it for their first rushing yards of this first half. John Torchio had the stop on Jackson after a gain of just 1.
So this is going to be running back by committee for Oklahoma State. Ollie Gordon, DeAndre Jackson, Jaden Nixon. Is just whoever's got the hot hand. That's what Casey Dunn, their offensive coordinator, said. Who's got the hot hand, we're going to roll with.
On second down and 8, they'll run it again. Jackson is the sophomore from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Picks up 5 there, so it's third down and 4.
Remember, Garrett Rangale's a freshman. So when you got the freshman quarterback, these are the down and distances that you want him to be in. The 3rd and 4 is the quick hitters, right? Hit that back foot, get the ball out quickly, but gives him a 1 progression read so he can keep the chains moving.
Looking for their first third down conversion of the night. Incomplete. Rangel looking to try and get it to Braden Cassidy, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, a little confused there because that seemed to be an outside screen play. And I mentioned earlier that Jim Leonard's defenses, they tend to show you a look, and at the snap of the football, they change it. They give you something totally different. And I don't know if Rangel was fooled, like just looked confused. That just had was not going to work at all.
Third punt for Ward, this one out of his own end zone. Another good blast that'll chase Ingram backwards first. Inside his own 30, and he'll get out to the 32, and that's it. Raymond Gay on the coverage after a 59-yard boot. Just liking the conditions right now inside Chase Field.
Yeah.
Here's Logan Ward.
They packed their special teams unit, I'll tell you that. Oklahoma State did. They gave up the big kickoff return, but they had someone save the day. This is what bowl week's all about. Guys getting opportunities, go out and make some plays.
Well, and what does this quarterback position look like moving forward with Wolf and Burkett and freshman Marshall Howe still here? They've got a quarterback recruit coming in. They've got a quarterback transfer coming in.
Possible.
2 years from now, a 4-star QB committed, and Luke Fickle told us this week they're probably still going to look around the portal for another one.
Yeah, all that's good.
Competition.
Competition, all that's good and dandy, but I think the bigger question is the play calling. You can bring in all these athletes, but what type of offense is Luke Fickell and his Wisconsin team going to run? And all indication is that it will possibly be expected to be Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator last season at North Carolina. That's going to be a much different look than what I think Wisconsin fans are used to seeing from their offense.
Second down and 8. Malusi gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Sione Ase with the tackle, and it's third down. Longo, by the way, from the air raid tradition. Although if you look at North Carolina's stats this year, their run pass was about 50-50. And a lot of the air raids have a really good run component.
But, you know, it was always, when you think Wisconsin offense, you can go to the bathroom or go grab a beer in between plays because it just took forever. Not in the Phil Longo offense. They are hurry up, quick on the football. So a much different style of football.
Wolf. The crossing route underneath, and again, short yardage at best for Keontae Lewis. Cam Smith on the coverage, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, nice job by Cam Smith. He was in a position where he was in trail, and he knew that I can't look at the quarterback, I can't look at the football, I got to keep my eyes on my man. That's what he did. The tackle was made because he was fundamentally sound at running to the near hip of the wide receiver and bringing him down short of the first.
Vunovich set to punt for Wisconsin.
Andy Vunovich set to punt it away for Presley, and it's a fake. But Andy's going to run for it. He's got the first down out to the 48-yard line to keep the drive alive. Your first bowl game call of the night.
Yeah, and it's from the guy who's, I guess, you just unexpected. You mentioned it. You get the punter back there, 4th and 7. Oh, they're going to punt it away. Not this Wisconsin team. They realize, hey, we're in bowl season. Expect the unexpected, and that time the punter getting involved in the action.
And a run of 19 yards for the senior. So Chase Wolf will get back out there in the pistol, this time with Julius Davis in the backfield. Junior in-state product. They'll fake it to him and hit the tight end who was in motion. JT Seagraves into Cowboy territory.
I think you see most, that's what the offense is going to look like. More bootlegs and waggles. Get Chase Wolf back involved and confident in getting the ball downfield.
7-3 through 1. Oklahoma State on top. Yeah, whenever you come to Phoenix, you got to check out Old Town Scottsdale.
Oh, yeah.
Very festive on this holiday weekend, heading towards the new year. 7-3, Oklahoma State over Wisconsin. These are the expected hires coming to Wisconsin. Phil Longo from North Carolina and Mike Tressel, who will be coming with Luke Fickell from Cincinnati, where their defenses have always been stout. Play action for Wolf. He's going deep over the top. Has a man out there on the run, and it's dropped through the hands of Keontae Lewis. But you can expect a lot more of that. Some deep threats.
Yeah, that's a drop touchdown. That ball's perfect. You can't lay that ball in there any better if you're Chase Wolf. That should have been a touchdown.
Let's check in with Stormy.
Well, when you talk about this new potential offense for Wisconsin, it was interesting to hear Luke Fickell's perspective. He said, if Phil Longo comes in here and opens up his playbook, we'll say, okay, that's what you did at North Carolina. That's what you did at Ole Miss. He said, they understand there's a brand of football that Wisconsin represents, and they want to have some of that tradition incorporated. So he said the fans shouldn't be too worried.
Bouncing around and down to the 46-yard line is Julius Davis.
And I think it will be aspects of the offense that will still look a lot different. You know, we had a chance to see Phil Longo earlier this year. Our crew did down in North Carolina. And Drake May was a guy who was a top 10 Heisman finalist and made a lot of plays in that offense. So it's going to be predicated on who the quarterback is. You mentioned it, Beth, a lot of competition for Wisconsin next year and who plays quarterback and who fits well with what Phil Longo wants to do. But hey, you still got Braylon Allen. Let's not forget about that. That's a major chess piece.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a major chess piece that you do have.
Let's see if Vunovic can bury this one deep, and he does again. Hits another one inside the 10. That one 41 yards and dropped it in perfectly for Tatum Grass to run under.
All right, Vunovic is trying to, let me see, mark his name down.
MVP
candidates early in his football game. He's been delivering some nice couple punts, and now he's one of the leaders in the rushing game as well.
His partner, Nate Van Zelst, has the 47-yard field goal for their 3 points. The big play, though, well, 2 of them back-to-back. The interception in the end zone for Trey Rucker to prevent a score for the Cowboys, and then immediately fouled by the receiver's screen. Garrett Rangel to Stefan Johnson for 84 yards and the touchdown. Their longest play of the season and the second longest in their illustrious bowl history. Rangel throws it on first down, and sliding onto his backside is Brennan Presley. Gain of 8.
This is a wide receiver bunch that's been youth. They've been young, but at the same time, they've grown this year. And you hope to see it in this bowl game, what this receiving core may look like next season as well.
Rangel gives to Gordon, and Ali has the first down, lunging out across the 20. For the freshman from Fort Worth, and a gain of 8 more as they try and get the run game going. They didn't have any rushing yards in that first quarter.
By John Meadow. First and 10 at the 21.
Good push up front by the Wisconsin D, led by Jordan Turner.
Nice job by Turner. He just blitzed the gap. Saw the opening in the offensive line, just went and made a play in the backfield.
Jim Leonard really liked how the inside linebackers played, especially in that second half of the season. Some more slippage on the outside. That's Johnson taking a tumble, and it's 3rd and 11.
Well, both sides slipped. You had 2 guys. You had the receiver slipping on one side, and Alexander Smith, the cornerback, he was slipping in his break. This is a turf that during pregame I went down. It's a little moist, right? You're indoors, so it doesn't allow the grass to really breathe. So got to have some shoes that work. As coaches would always tell me, find the right shoes for this surface.
3rd and 11. Empty set for Rangel. Almost picked and almost 6 for the Badgers and John Torchio. He's already got 2 of them this year. And he may have been counting his steps a little too soon.
Yeah, no, you mentioned it. He almost had 6, and it would have been 6 points and his 6th interception of the season. He's got 5 on the year, but it was plays like that. And Torchio all season long, just reading the quarterback's eyes, but also knowing where the offense is trying to get to. Torchio read that play. He just dropped it in. That's why he plays defense. Right? He's on offense. He's a receiver, but that time he dropped what would have been a for sure touchdown.
That's the second dropped score for Wisconsin. 1 for their offense and 1 for their defense here in the first half. Because Keontae Lewis also dropped 1 in the end zone. Fair catch after the 49-yard punt. Back in a moment.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Saturday, December 31st on ESPN.
Well, there's a look at the interim head coach for Wisconsin. A lot of folks thought Jim might get the job for next year after starring there as a former walk-on, an All-American, a longtime assistant. And, you know, he more so than anybody knows what it means to have that W on his chest and in that uniform. When we talked to him this week, Kirk talked about how much pride the Badgers have in Wisconsin. And to be a part of a team with a guy like Braylon Allen, he said, you know what, we do it the right way.
Right. With
student athletes who care and can be successful on and off the field, still uncertain as to what his future holds.
Yeah, he won't be back at Wisconsin. And so he's going to take some time after this bowl game has ended. And I'll tell you this, he is one of the most sought after defensive coordinators in not just college football. I think he's also has NFL ties as well, was one of the finalists for the job in Green Bay a couple years back as their defensive coordinator. So a lot of possibilities for where Jim Leonard can be called in place for next season.
Wolf. And Wolf himself with the completion to Lewis for a first down out to the 45. You know, Leonard's defenses have been so good in his 6 years, top 5 in the country. And how about the tweet this week from J.J. Watt, one of the greatest and most beloved Badgers? Really feel for him in this process. He represents everything great about Wisconsin. But at the same time, a lot of alums and fans very excited about the Luke Fickell hire. Interestingly enough, or ironically enough, Fickell went through a similar situation. A lot of folks thought he was the coach in waiting at Ohio State. And that was a part of his conversation with Jim Leonard, talking about dealing with the frustration and the disappointment and continuing to move forward.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but he had that same opportunity where everyone expected him to be the coach, and he was not selected. He goes on to Cincinnati, takes that program to unbelievable heights. Members of the college football playoff a year ago, and obviously now he goes to Wisconsin. He's going to bring a different element, I think, just a new look to a guy who's got Big Ten pedigree.
Embrace and enhance was the phrase that he used. We'll be back in a moment.
The Guaranteed Rate Bowl is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Well, from starter at Ohio State to a longtime assistant and then success as a head coach at Cincinnati and getting set to go here at the University of Wisconsin. Named on November 27th, said he wanted to be a part of the whole bowl process. It was a little awkward at times, but hey, let's start building relationships now. Let's get immersed in the culture. Has tremendous success, obviously, for what has come before him at Wisconsin. And also very familiar, obviously, with the Big Ten. And that was all a part of the hiring process as well.
Yeah, I thought the thing that he said is that big W right there, that block W on the side of the helmet, it's a national brand. You know that's Wisconsin. So he understood what he's getting himself into.
On 2nd down and 5, the end around for DK, and he runs into Jason Taylor after a gain of 4.
It's the first time we've called Jason Taylor's name tonight. He's the safety, the 5th-year senior, one of those guys that's been around this program for a very long time and making a big hit short of that first down marker, but he's one of the guys. Jason Taylor, Brock Martin, these 5th-year senior guys have been around. They played for a conference championship a year ago. Definitely a down year.
Under center now on 3rd down and 1. They'll use the fullback here, Jackson Acker, out of the eye. And following Acker with good patience is Malusi for the first down yardage and a gain of 6. He's close to 10 yards per carry.
He's got some nice size to him as well. Think about the change of pace back for Wisconsin. So you have 6'2", 235 Braylon Allen coming at you. Then all of a sudden you say, oh, we get a change of pace. But Malusi stands 5'11", 210. So he's got a nice little force about him as well. He pushed his legs, kept those legs churning to get that first down.
On the move, looking for their first touchdown. Under 10 minutes to go in the half. Allen trying to find a hole. The injury, by the way, before we went to the commercial, was starting left guard Michael Furtney, so he has gone off to the sideline. Joe Bruner has moved up at right guard, and Trey Weddick moves from right guard to left.
Joe Tippmann, their all-everything center.
Also out.
He's out, but he's taking his talent to the National Football League. So a offensive line that is still coming together during this bowl season.
Tanner Bortolini is the new center, so that's an entirely new center to quarterback exchange. Allen getting the pads low. Trying to run through Cam Smith. He picks up 5.
It's like bumper cars in there, right? As if he's the guy driving the car. He's just bulldozing through guys. You want to tackle this? You got to bring hat in hands. He runs through 2 tackles there. Another, that's the middle linebacker, Benson, that he runs through. He is a force, and I'm excited that he's going to have another year of college football, probably his last next season.
He was the MVP in their Las Vegas Bowl win a year ago with over 150 yards rushing. Tripped up at the 29, but that's good enough for a first down. Jason Taylor preventing a bigger burst as Braylon picks up 3 more.
That could have been a touchdown. It's just the ability. We've seen the power on the previous play, and then he shows off the vision. Right? He sees that, hey, there's nothing there in between the tackles. Let me get to the outside. And Jason Taylor, 6 foot 215, was up for the challenge.
116 yards rushing already here in this first half for Wisconsin. Allen comes off. It's Chez Malusi's turn. Malusi stuffed after a 1-yard gain. Samuela Tuihalamaka, the senior out of Riverside, California, with the stop.
One of these long drives. This is what Wisconsin loves to do, right? 8, 9, 10, 11 plays, eating up a bunch of clock, and utilizing play action near the red zone.
DK in motion. He's the decoy, and on the rollout, Wolf drops it off at the 15-yard line to Hayden Rucci for a first down and a gain of 12.
They sort of lull you to sleep, right? It's run, 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 and then a second down play is the play action. And this is one that Wolf actually could have kept and got more yardage, but he finds the open tight end, Rucci, and now you're driving, you're in the red zone. And this is Braylon Allen time.
1st and 10 at the 14.
Allen is back out there, deep in the pistol. 2 tight end set. Allen off the left side down to the 10. Last time they were down here, Kirk, they tried to throw it, and it was an end zone interception. So is it now all Allen all night?
Yeah, I think Bobby Ingram, the offensive coordinator, I think he learned from that possession earlier in the game and utilized what Chase Wolf can do best right now, and that's utilize his legs and the opportunity to get out of the pocket, give him some multi-level routes, right? 3-level routes. Let him pick and find the open guy instead of trying to force one into a window.
Well, they'll change it up here. It is Brady Shipper in at tailback, and they will let Wolf throw it again. Caught. DK spinning at the 5 and diving down inside the 1. And it's 1st and goal, Wisconsin.
And it's just Bobby Ingram doing a great job calling plays. Like I said, getting Chase Wolf on the move, utilizing that athleticism, but giving him different pictures, giving him different levels of routes. That time, he threw to DK, who had a little bit of the spin cycle, keeps his hand up, but just short of the goal line.
13th play of the drive coming up that started back at their own 32. They've had the football for nearly 7 minutes here. On 1st and goal, it's Malusi. Touchdown, Badgers.
That was vintage Wisconsin, right? They say on Wisconsin. That was on and ready. Look at how many Oklahoma State defenders are inside that orange end zone, right? A lot of defenders in that end zone because of the great push, the great win at the line of scrimmage by the offensive line. And Malusi's able to just waltz in to the end zone.
13 plays, 68 yards, 7.5 minutes. Extra point is good, and Wisconsin leads Oklahoma State 10-7, 5:23 to go in the half.
You get near the goal line, you give it to those backs, you get those offensive linemen, but doing a great job chasing points. Wisconsin up 3.
Let's take a look at tonight's clutch delivery brought to you by Chipotle. How about Chase Wolf? 3 for 3, 37 yards on that drive.
Yeah, this was like corduroys, vintage Wisconsin in this last drive. It was bootlegs, waggles, play action, the run game, and you get inside that 5-yard line, you utilize that offensive line, and Malusi goes in 13 plays, 68 yards, 724. That's a textbook drive by the Badgers.
They lead it 10-7, and it's headed back to Oklahoma State. The fair catch. They'll take it out at the 25. When we come back to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl here at Chase Field in Phoenix. Well, when you talk about coaches that have been at it a long time at one place, the most wins at a current school amongst the active FBS head coaches, and there is Mike Gundy at 156. Only Saban, Ferentz, and Sweeney better at it than Gundy has been in Stillwater over the years. Of course, last season, within a whisper of the playoff, that heartbreaking loss in the Big 12 championship, a 12-win season, and then that huge comeback win across town at the Fiesta Bowl when it didn't look good against Notre Dame, and then they took the fight to the Irish and rallied for a big W in the bowl game to cap off the season. Incompletion from Garrett Rangel. It's been a different story this year. The injuries really started racking up. He has really applauded the way that his ball club has handled the adversity. And dealt with all that has been thrown at them, and just most recently, of course, the departure of starting quarterback for the last 4 years, Spencer Sanders.
Yeah, I think that's the tougher one that he's had to deal with. Is that next year you kind of have you don't know who's your quarterback truly going to be. It's a true competition for next season. Garrett Rangel sort of auditioning right now for that job.
We'll try and go over the top for Brayton Johnson, incomplete. He said it was a tough conversation at times, but, you know, he's got a son on the team. He's got another son that's a high school quarterback, and said, hey, I'd want a coach to treat these guys like a coach would treat my son.
Absolutely.
And that's how he's approached it with this new world of guys coming and going in the portal.
Yeah, Gunnar Gundy is one of those quarterbacks on the roster, out with the shoulder injury, but I think he looks at it as a coach and as a parent, which is what I would want my head coach to always have, that human element about being not just a coach, but also a father as well.
Third down and 10. Rangel incomplete. And it's fourth down. Let's check in with Stormy.
Well, and Beth, Coach Gundy said that they had a really good heart-to-heart, he and Spencer Sanders did, and that, yeah, it could be easy to be upset. That's human nature. But after 5 years in one place, he just wanted something a little bit new, and he understood that. He said that, you know, there's no hard feelings, but it definitely took some experience and patience on his part, having been a coach for such a long time, to not take it personal. But, you know, he thinks of Spencer Sanders very, very highly, and he thinks of all of the good that he did in this program more than anything else.
Got a flag down on the punt. Fair catch at the 30-yard line, and let's see what the flag. It's all the way back at the line of scrimmage. 45 yards on the boot.
Legal formation on the kicking team. Number 4 was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. That penalty being forced from the end of the kick down.
Well, Sanders is amongst a handful of quarterbacks that have entered the portal but have not announced yet where they're going. Some pretty significant names. There, of course, are others that have already decided, including Graham Mertz, who leaves Wisconsin to go to Florida. And there you see some of the other guys. DJ Uiagalelei is leaving Clemson for Oregon State. Purdue will have a new quarterback battle.
Hudson Card comes in there. Kentucky. I mean, look at these conferences, right? You've got the Pac-12. They'll have new quarterbacks, and they have the returning Heisman Trophy winner at USC and Caleb Williams. So some conferences getting some outstanding new blood at the quarterback position.
Braylon Allen gets the call. Lamont Bishop with the stop.
Not to mention, forgot about, you know, Sam Hartman is available.
Said he's going to Notre Dame.
Grayson McCall, who was on the game previous to this at Coastal Carolina, he's also in the portal. Could he return to Coastal, or could he find himself on a different roster next season as well?
Brennan Armstrong at Virginia, still available. He's announced he's on the move. 2nd and 11 here for the Badgers. In this last bowl game of the day, ECU, Memphis, and Buffalo already winners. Allen out to the 38. Hey, don't forget Friday night. Which orange you got at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami for the Capital One Orange Bowl? Will it be Tennessee Vol Orange or Clemson Tiger Orange? On ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the app coverage at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Now, if Syracuse was in that game, I know who you would be going for. So that's another orange.
They're pinstriping tomorrow.
Yes.
For 2 days against Minnesota and New York. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of orange at the Orange Bowl. Got some orange here tonight. Cowpokes looking for the sack. Sidearm swing across midfield to Chimere Dike as Chase Wolf escaped and extended the play in a gain of 21.
That's just a missed opportunity. You had what should have been a sack. I mean, Brock Martin comes free, and then Xavier Benson, or Lamont Bishop, I take it, was the guy who came all the way and had an opportunity to get Wolf down, but just a subtle sidestep. It's just that subtle sidestep, that subtle move in the pocket just bought him enough time to get that ball off. That's a nice job and a nice feel in the pocket by Chase Wolf.
He is 11 of 15, 77 yards so far. And he's got another completion there to a sliding DK and a gain of 6.
You can see
Third catch, 36 yards.
You see confidence, right? It's confidence that he's playing with now. That earlier interception, something he's just forgotten all about. He made the wrong read earlier, but you see him now, the decisiveness, and he's keeping his eyes downfield, not looking at the rush. 6 completions in a row right now. He's on a nice little streak.
Julius Davis will join him in the backfield. DK and Skylar Bell to the bottom of your screen. Out to the edge, it's Bell. And he's got first down yardage close to the 30. They're actually going to spot him just across. Hey, coming up on the TikTok halftime report, Matt Berry, Greg McElroy, Joey Galloway with you. Can Georgia stop C.J. Stroud? An interview with Jim Harbaugh and a full day of bowl games. With that Georgia defense against the Buckeye offense will be fun. And the other semifinal, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
We always talk about the Georgia defense. Talk about Stetson Bennett. Talk about the Heisman finalist. He's going to try to put on a show.
Is he like 15-1 the last 2 years?
Yeah, put some respect on Stetson Bennett's name, people.
Good push by Braylon Allen behind that offensive line. He'll pick up 6 more. 12 carries, 59 yards for Allen.
And this is all about the 4-minute offense. And now as this goes under 2 minutes, it's playing keep away from Oklahoma State. And then more importantly, you have an opportunity to kind of get the football back to start the second half.
Yep. Barbara Ingram and Wisconsin wants a timeout. Make sure they get this last
30 seconds.
minute 24 right.
Yeah, get a little 2-for-1 situation here. You have this drive, and you want to get points. Touchdown would be great. Field goal also. Make some adjustments. And that's another thing about bowl games, adjustments at halftime. What are you seeing out there? And so far, I'm seeing that this Wisconsin run game is what's really thriving.
Well, it's being fluid in your bowl prep, too, isn't it? I mean, at the start of the season, I don't think either one of these programs thought they would be at or around 500. So you've learned to deal with the adversity. You've learned to deal with the disappointment. And when we talked to both coaching staffs, hey, it was all about being fluid, adjusting on the fly. You got to show up here prepared and motivated, and that's not always the case for both teams coming into a bowl game. Wisconsin has definitely taken charge here in the second quarter, and now the time of possession is triple in Wisconsin's favor. One long scoring drive. They're looking for another one here. And Allen has the first down back into the red zone. 22 minutes of possession to just 6 for Oklahoma State tonight.
6'2", 235. I mean, you've got that big back running downhill. You got to get more than one guy in place to bring Braylon Allen down. When you get inside the red zone, it's continual to go downhill. He's one of the best backs in college football.
First and 10. On the rollout, Wolf wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Rucci. Terrific ball fake. All eyes followed Braylon Allen and Wolf to Rucci for 15 yards and the score.
I want you to watch Rucci's on the right side. He's at lineup at tight end, but he gets off the football as if he's blocking. And it's the play action. Everybody, all eyes on Allen. And Rucci just converts what looks to be a block, but he runs that banana route to the corner of the end zone. Ball thrown on time, and that's a touchdown for the big tight end. His first of the season.
That is 8 completions in a row for Wolf. 8 plays, 65 yards, 4:16 off the clock, and the extra point is good, taking us into the final minute of the half.
I mean, just all the attention was on Braylon Allen. I mean, every defender for Oklahoma State had their eyes on number 0. And no one had the eyes on Rucci, who just did a tremendous job of selling the run up the field, but then bending that route to the corner. And Chase Wolf on the run, that's been his best attribute so far today. He started 3 of 6. Now, since he's 11 of 12, and has hit his last 8 passes.
Your first career start is in a bowl game. You've only played in 12 games. And he has taken advantage of the opportunity.
He's trying to put his stamp on his career, right? You get an opportunity, put a stamp on it. Show what you can do.
Fair catch here on the reception, Cale Cabanis. Hey, the All-State Sugar Bowl is December 31st at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the app. Number 5, Alabama, and number 9, K-State. Coming your way from New Orleans Saturday at noon Eastern.
So how long do Will Anderson and Bryce Young play?
That's a good question.
Like, do you go out there, play a couple series, do a little curtain call? I mean, these are 2 guys that probably
projected 1 and 2.
1 and 2, depending on how this thing falls out with the NFL next couple weeks. But seemingly the first 2 picks in next year's NFL draft.
CJ Getz got a paw on that one. Deflected it at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Rangel, pressure coming right up the middle, and down he goes. And does Wisconsin use a timeout here? 3rd down coming up. James Thompson with the sack.
Yeah, Luke Fickell calls a timeout. He finds that official on the sideline. Hey, we got another opportunity, but just watch Rangel. He slips in the pocket. We talked about the footing here, and he's trying to get out and retreat, but slips. We talked about the footing so much on this field. Very slick down there, and Rangel trying to make something happen, but slips, and James Thompson's there for the sack.
A loss of 11. Since the touchdown pass, Rangel just 1 of 8 for 8 yards. They have only 113 yards of total offense in this first half, as the Badgers have doubled them up. Wisconsin has also run 20 more plays in this first half with their ball control offense. And they might get it back.
You really say the only negative play that they really had defensively was just a missed tackle that turned into a long touchdown. But other than that, they've been solid on the defensive side.
Four wides on 3rd down and 21, and the draw. Wisconsin will run that out of bounds to stop the clock with 22 seconds to go. And Wisconsin doesn't have to use that last timeout. It's 4th down.
Yeah, I think Ollie Gordon didn't realize that it was 3rd down, because of the smart decision would have been to.
The offense is still out there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody realized that it was third down.
Oh, I know they're going.
I'm saying, Ollie Gordon runs back on the field like that was third down. Like, you ran out of bounds. You just saved a timeout for Wisconsin. I think they got lost in the moment there. Now punt, have a little time to maybe try to get some more points.
Whistles before the snap. Oklahoma State calling a timeout.
Timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Man, just a bad sequence there from Oklahoma State. 3rd and 21. And you got to hand that ball off and say, hey, fellas, stay in bounds, and force them to utilize their last timeout. It's coaching moments for a lot of these guys. And remember, there's been a lot of time off, too. You know, the college football season ended for these guys right around Thanksgiving. So you've had about a month off, been around the guys and enjoyed your trip so far. And you have an opportunity to kind of forget where you are during the play.
So for Wisconsin, and Deion Ingram set him up here. Place kicker Nate Van Zelst has already hit from 47 yards. If you're looking for a field goal line to gain here with 22 seconds to go. Logan Ward has been booming punts so far tonight. This is his 6th punt. Ingram will fair catch it to save some seconds. And the offense will have 15 to work with after a 41-yard kick. Wisconsin will also get the ball back to start the 3rd quarter.
You see Bobby Ingram there on the right of your screen. He's trying to dial up a play that they want to get maybe about 25, 30 yards just to have an opportunity to kick a field goal.
Chase Wolf is 14 of 18, 103 yards with a touchdown and a pick. Trips to the left. They'll run it with Davis out to the 45. They have a timeout left.
They don't use it. And that's halftime.
And that's the half.
Not sure what that was about, but that's go to halftime.
It is a 10-point Wisconsin lead over Oklahoma State at the half here at the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix. Ches Malusi, a 1-yard touchdown run, and Chase Wolf, the 15-yard touchdown pass to Hayden Rucci. Countering an 84-yard touchdown pass from Garrett Rangel to Stephon Johnson. And the Badgers are set to receive the second half kickoff as we go down to Stormy.
Well, Coach, I know that a lot of your role today was going to be observational. What have you observed from this offense and Chase Wolf settling in?
We're a physical group, and we just got to stick with what we are and who we are. And I think the offensive line's kind of taken over a little bit and done a really good job here in the first half. We got to kind of regroup, make sure we got those big plays we have. We got to finish.
Yeah, if you had a checklist of things that this group needs to accomplish to close out this win and get the bowl victory, what's on it?
They got to not think about that. They got to just come out and play. It's nothing. We got to go back to who we are and make sure that we can control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Our halftime score at the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, 17-7 Wisconsin. Coming up after the break, the TikTok halftime report. Matt Berry, Greg McElroy, and Joey Galloway.
Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Mania.
And welcome back to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. 17-7, Wisconsin the lead over Oklahoma State. As we get set for the second half kickoff here in Phoenix. Gorgeous night at the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Of course, football fans will be watching right back here in the Phoenix area over in Glendale for one of the 2 college football playoff games.
The Fiesta.
Michigan and TCU, Big 12 repping. The Badgers and their offense really took over in that second quarter. In fact, Oklahoma State only had the football for less than 7 minutes. Wisconsin able to run 20 more plays in that first half. And as Luke Fickell was telling our Stormy Bonatoni, looks like that offensive line is going to be ready to get back to work and blazing trails for the running game in this second half. Beth Mowins along with Kirk Morrison and Stormy, your thoughts on that first half?
Well, it was all Braylon Allen, Chase Wolf. I thought the offensive line played well for Wisconsin. They played physical, they played tough, they won the time of possession. And on the opposite side, Oklahoma State couldn't convert on third down. So that summed up the first half for me. And that's what the second half is really all about, is can Oklahoma State convert on third down and find a way to get some stops and help out Garrett Rangel in his third start of the season.
Allen will be back out there at tailback. He had 62 yards. Ches Malusi 61 yards rushing in that first half. Allen gets to the corner, breaking a tackle, and a first down run out to the 44. He picks up 16 more there behind the new center, Tanner Bortolini.
I think you just halftime adjustments, as it seems like Braylon Allen limping off here after that one. We were wondering how long would Braylon Allen stay in this football game. You hope that he's okay, but you utilize this offensive line. I mean, this is the Big Ten football at its finest. Braylon Allen with some big yards to start this half.
13 carries now, 78 yards in the ball game tonight for Allen. Malusi. They both had big runs in that first half. Jason Taylor with the stop. Second down and 8 here. Well, you certainly want to keep Braylon Allen healthy headed into the offseason and into fall camp next year. With his back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns, he's one of the bright spots amongst those guys that'll be back around backfields in the country. Wolf slings it to Rucci. He's just short of another first down. How about some of the top running backs in the country this year that'll be back next season? Frank Gore Jr., another big name on that list.
Auntie Chill. Yeah. After the game the other day. You mentioned Braylon Allen and Keith Mitchell. We saw in their game previous, one of the leaders in the American Conference. Raheem Sanders, Carson Steele. These are some big names who are going to be leading their programs next season. All eyes on them. But that guy right there, number 0 for Wisconsin, that's, to me, I think he's at the top of all of them.
One of the front runners, right?
Yes, indeed.
3rd and 1, and they don't get it. Good stick by Lyric Rawls out of the secondary, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that's how you get downfield. That's how you get up the field and make a play. You know where the sticks are, right? You know where that first down marker is. And so you got a safety coming downhill, making a play, and Rawls setting up a 4th down opportunity for his defense to get a stop.
They'll go for it here at the Oklahoma State 47-yard line. Fullback is out there in Acker. They'll run it and they'll get it. First down, Wisconsin. Down to the 44-yard line behind Jack Nelson.
Yeah, you had Nelson, you had the fullback Acker. You pull the right guard and Fertney, and you just say, hey, Malusi, go find it. You know, just go find the yards that are needed to keep the drive alive. And that's what it is, another first down for Wisconsin. They've been able to convert on 3rd, now 4th down, to just keep the chains moving.
Allen's back out there, and you mentioned Michael Fertney's name, who was hurt in the first half. He has returned as well to the offensive line. Wolf looking for his 10th completion in a row, and incomplete at the 10. Skylar Bell tried for the one-handed grab, looking for a flag. And there is one at the 15-yard line. Corey Black had the coverage.
On the defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, Black, number 2, he had that arm locked. Right, there was just no way for Bell to get both hands and extend for the football. That ball probably would have been caught, but I want you to just watch at that hold.
Oh, that's why he
of the
only
left
had the
arm.
one hand.
Yeah, he only had one hand because Corey
Somebody
Black
else had the other one.
He was holding that left hand. Just an arm bar there, not allowing the other arm of Bell to extend to catch that pass.
So the streak stays alive for Wolf as well. 1st and 10 after the penalty. And Allen caught in the backfield. Good push by Lamont Bishop. Beat his man to get back there.
Nice job by Nathan Lotson as well. The defensive end, just get up the field and go create some havoc.
Owen Bishop, who, as we mentioned in the first half, is already replacing Mason Cobb, who entered the portal and is headed to USC. And now Bishop goes to the sideline with an injury. Nicholas Martin will replace him. 2nd down and 16. Wolf out of the gun. Blitz is coming, and it's dropped. Looking for the hot route to Bell. 3rd down and long.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think Bell, he heard some footsteps. Trey Rucker was in the vicinity as well, number 16. And I always say it's hot in the kitchen. And he's going to the kitchen, and you see just a peek. It's a quick peek at that safety coming downhill. Got to catch the football first before you're thinking about running. I think he was thinking about the hit possibly by Rucker, number 16 for Oklahoma State.
This is big right here for Oklahoma State to get a stop if they can. The running back Shipper split out wide, and now he'll return to the backfield. 4-man rush, and they get to the quarterback. Nathan Latu with the sack back at the 45.
What an outstanding move by Latu, just one-on-one. He had the one-on-one with Fergie, and he just a nice little swim, get up the field and get the sack. That's a quick sidestep move up the field, get the sack, and that's the stop that you mentioned, Beth. They needed.
Loss of 9. And the punting unit will come on. They had a fake for a 1st down in the 1st half. Did Andy Vunovich. He'll boot this one away. Try and drop another one inside the 10, and this one will bound into the end zone. Ooh, Oklahoma State lucky that almost hit one of their guys, a punt of 44. First touch of the 2nd half for Oklahoma State coming up.
Back here in Phoenix, Arizona for the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Oklahoma State able to get the stop defensively here to open this half, but can their offense carry it over? When I spoke to Mike Gundy coming out of the half, I asked him what adjustments could they make to get into more of a rhythm on offense, and he just said they need to do a better job of protecting. He felt like they had guys open downfield, but he didn't have enough time to get the ball out. Garrett Rangel did not. Said that'll give them the opportunity to establish the run. Just 14 rushing yards in the 1st half.
They'll try it here on 1st down. DeAndre Jackson, especially since Rangel has missed his last 6 passes. Hey, if a guy knows how to win bowl games, it's Mike Gundy. If you had the trivia question of which program has the best win percentage in FBS bowl history, I don't know how many people would pick the Pokes, but it is them. It's now 17 years in a row. Gundy is 11-5 himself as the head coach. And a slip and a fall in the backfield. Jackson.
It's been that kind of game. I mean, you're trying to get positive yards on 2nd down and get a minimal 3rd down. Gives you an opportunity, run pass option possibly, and now they get to a situation of 3rd down where they haven't converted 1 3rd down in this game yet. 0 for 6 so far. We'll see what happens on their 7th attempt at a 3rd down conversion.
Rangel 5 of 14, 110 yards and a touchdown. Only 3 guys coming. He'll step up in the pocket, looking for a block. Whew. Had to duck for cover with Darrell Peterson hard charging at him, and it's 4th down.
Did you see the illusion that Jim Leonard showed, that defense? They showed 4 possible 5-man rush. At the snap of the ball, 2 guys retreat, 3 guys are rushing, and now it's a totally different look for Rangel, who couldn't find the open window and had to eat it.
Yeah, I love what Leonard talked about, his tenure with Wisconsin. We may not get the 5-star guys, but we get a lot of guys that are self-motivated, that are urgent about their desire to get better, and how they encourage guys to take charge of your own career. J.J. Watt's a perfect example of that. Make it happen. They're making it happen right now, up by 10. Well, of course, coming up on Saturday, one of the national semifinals here in Phoenix. The arrival a week in advance for the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. TCU, the 3 seed, Michigan, the 2 seed. Champs of the Big Ten and the Big 12 coming to town. Don't forget the MegaCast is back. So all those on the left, that's what we call our linear broadcasts. The main show, the McAfee show, the Command Center, and then streaming live for you. You can check out the All 22. That's the wide shot on all the time. You can listen and watch in the hometown radio calls. Even the bands at halftime with their own stream. All a part of the MegaCast on the ESPN app.
All in. That's what I call it.
All in.
All in. Oh, yeah. Go all in.
West Coast, it starts at 9 a.m. Kirk, little brunch.
Yeah, ring in the new year with the playoff.
More Braylon Allen. Good job by the Hooks defense to stretch that out. Nicholas Martin able to run down Braylon.
I think the story still doesn't change for Wisconsin in this half. It's continuing to run the football. Multiple backs we've seen. A little bit of Allen, Malusi, Julius Davis has been in there as well. But I've been really impressed with Chase Wolf so far. I mean, he's a guy who's got another year of eligibility left. He's got that COVID year. And could he be a part of this quarterback competition next year for Luke Fickell?
They like to roll him out. The throw here incomplete. It's 3rd down. If they can convert here, you're talking about a time of possession 30 of the 38 minutes for Wisconsin.
And all of it is because they've converted on 3rd down, to your point. They've been able to win 1st and 2nd down, and he's been able to get out of the pocket, find the open receiver, whether it's a running back, receiver, or tight end. He's done a good job of dispersing the football.
We were told we might at some point see some Miles Burkett, depending on the game situation. The other quarterback available tonight. Right now it's Chase Wolf looking for a 3rd down conversion, and incomplete, almost picked at the 45. Badgers want a penalty flag, and no laundry on the carpet. It's 4th down.
No, that was just good defense by Kendall Daniels, number 5. He was right there in the hip pocket of the receiver and maintained his leverage and just played through to the football. Watch the left side of the screen. He's going to pop in, just stays on his coverage, and actually could have intercepted that pass. He was right there on DK. And that was just a tremendous job of laying off the receiver and making his move right when the ball arrived.
Showing us why he's the Big 12 Defensive Freshman of the Year. Another big boomer from Vujanovic, the fair catch at the 10. As we take a look at the Bowl Challenge Cup standings, brought to you by Progressive. ACC at 2-0, the MAC 3-2. Big 10 and Big 12 looking for their first wins. Of course, the Big 10 just getting underway. Big 12 was, let's see, that was Air Force beating Baylor, right?
Yeah, and you got the Big 10, and they'll start tonight, and then they'll enter into the Bowl Cup.
SEC has started out 0-2 as well. A lot of football left to be played. Triple header tomorrow. John Paul Richardson out across the 25 for a 1st down. Also the first appearance of Jaden Nixon in the backfield, number 23 in orange.
Watch this move by Richardson. He's either fake to the outside, he gets the corner Jay Shaw to bite, and goes back to the inside for a conversion. Nice little play there.
17 yards for number 17. We'll throw again. And is that picked? Right away from the receiver it is. Interception, Jay Shaw. It looked like Rashad Owens initially made the catch, and Jay just ripped it loose.
Right there on the spot was Jay Shaw. We just talked about the play earlier. He was beaten to the inside by John Paul Richardson. But just the relentlessness, and this is what Coach Jim Leonard, the defensive coordinator, talks about. It's being aggressive. It's being smart. And he's just running to the football. He's just trying to get in on the tackle. And the ball just happens to fall right in his hands. That's a tremendous job by Jay Shaw, the UCLA transfer, coming in and making a play.
So the first pick for the Wisconsin defense, but now a short field to work with. In a 17-7 game, just a reminder too, in that first half, they had a wide receiver drop a touchdown pass, and they had a defensive back, John Torchio, drop a pick six. Otherwise, it could be even more out of hand for the Badgers. Can they cash in this takeaway? He'll try the trick play here. DK, couple of blockers in front as he sprints towards the red zone, and a first down at the 20. Picks up 12.
Well, he got a good block by his quarterback. That's one of the blocks that you talked about, you mentioned. You get the quarterback, Chase Wolf, springing the receiver to the outside. And, you know, tricks, first play after a turnover, got to be able for it to get Belusi the pitch. It wasn't a big block by the quarterback.
It was a brush by.
But, you know, a block is just getting in the way.
Yeah.
People think he's got to knock a guy to the ground. Sometimes a good block is just getting in the way.
Big hole up the middle and the burst to the end zone. Braylon Allen touchdown from 20 yards out for the Badgers.
Just watch the interior of this offensive line, especially the center, Bortolini, number 63. It's just, they caved that right side down. And it's just Braylon Allen doing Braylon Allen type things, finding daylight and outracing everyone to the end zone.
11th touchdown rush of the season for Braylon Allen. Van Zelstaan for the PAT. They cash in the turnover. They only need a couple of plays and less than a minute to do it.
You get hats on hats on hats. That's what this offensive line's all about. Braylon Allen looking like Marcus Allen. Another score for the Badgers.
Welcome back to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Chase Field, home of Major League Baseball's Arizona D-backs here in Phoenix. 24-7, Wisconsin. And Braylon Allen and Chez Mellusi have combined for more rushing yardage than the Pokes have total yards tonight.
Two outstanding backs. Braylon Allen, the headliner in this game. And again, I just talked about Luke Fickell having Braylon Allen return to Madison. That's a huge, huge get for Wisconsin for next season.
Fair catch, so the Cowboys will get it at the 20 for the college football playoff semifinals. Coming your way Saturday on ESPN, ESPN DeCortez and the app. The 2-seed Michigan, the 3-seed TCU from the Verbo Fiesta Bowl here in Phoenix. That'll be at 4 Eastern on ESPN. And then primetime, 8 o'clock Saturday night, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl from Atlanta. The defending champion Georgia Bulldogs and the Ohio State University got a pair of Wisconsin fraternity brothers in there. The Big Ten well-repped. Rangel handles a tough snap, incomplete on the toss.
Yeah, I think that was a botched play. The running back goes left and Rangel goes right. So you had the snap that was fumbled, and then the running back goes the opposite way and an incompletion. This has been an up and down offensive performance so far for Oklahoma State.
2nd and 10 for Rangel. Directing some traffic, and he slips and falls, and down he goes at the 15. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
Well, he slips, and we've talked about the turf all night. A little slick, Got to find the shoes that work in this type of turf. Probably longer studs. Probably help him out there, but again, there was nowhere to throw the football anyway. And unfortunate.
Loss of 9. Stormy?
Halftime too, just if he had noticed the surface being an issue. He said it's an issue for both teams, but it's certainly been slick out there. And numerous times throughout the course of this game, I've seen guys with those cleat cleaners, the spikes, trying to get the grass out of their shoes.
3rd and 19, a tough spot here, the screen. Jay Nixon wrapped up quickly by Jake Chaney to force the punt.
Now 0 for 8 on 3rd down for Oklahoma State.
So they will boot it away. Dean Ingram is back. Of course, the arrival of Luke Fickell at Wisconsin, not the only changes coming to the Big Ten. Some other new faces in the West next year. The fair catch, Badger ball at the 46. And was a pretty big name, some significant moves. With Ryan Walters in at Purdue, then Fickell at Wisconsin, and Matt Rule will take over at Nebraska next year.
Yeah, pretty interesting, right? Jeff Brom, he takes off, goes, you know, back
home to
Louisville. It's going to be a different Big Ten regardless, I think, because of what, you know, Ohio State has done, Michigan has done, and now I think
guess who else is coming to dinner, right?
Who's that?
Los Angeles.
Yeah, the UCLA,
USC.
It's going to be a much different Big Ten in a couple seasons.
1st down and 10. Wolf will hand it off. The stiff arm from Davis, and he's run out back at the line of scrimmage by Corey Black. Of course, changes afoot in the Big 12 for Oklahoma State as well, with the departures coming up in the next couple of years. Oklahoma and Texas leaving for the SEC, and next year you've got to start scouting 4 new guys coming to town.
Cincinnati, Houston, BYU, and UCF. So as much as we talk about a different Big Ten, I think the Big 12 is going to be just as competitive.
Wolf sacked, ball is out, and Oklahoma State's got it. And just what they were looking for, a little bit of a spark. The turnover will give them possession and a short field. Punched out of there by Rawls, and Cody Walterscheid got it.
Yeah, it's Larique Rawls. He just beats the tight end on the outside, Nowalski, and then just comes in and just bats the football. He goes immediately and strikes down on the football. You know, some guys go in and they want to get the sack, but watch how he attacks the football. See, he tapped that hand that had the football, and that's how that ball is knocked out. That's a big turnover for Oklahoma State defensively. Maybe this offense can now cash this in and try to cut this lead.
Three-man rush. Rangel spins out of it, heaves it downfield, up for grabs at the 5, and knocked out of play by Dort. He's got to be careful not to draw the flag there. He started chirping with the wide receiver.
He made a play. I get it. Sometimes you're in that situation, and good job of good patience. You see how he secured the tackle with the right arm and then knocked the ball away with the left arm? That's an outstanding play. Being patient, not panicking while the ball's in the air.
A lot of 4 receiver sets this half. They're going to air it out again, and way overthrown at the goal line, incomplete. Looking for Talon Shetron. Alexander Smith with the coverage.
Yeah, that just seemed like a YOLO ball. He just throwing that up. There was, to me, no chemistry at all on that last throw. He was just throwing into an area. The receiver was still 10 yards away.
1 for his last 11 with 17 yards and a pick. And that's incomplete, and it's 4th down. It's been a frustrating night Of course, the situation once again, their starter Spencer Sanders entering the portal. One of their other backup quarterbacks, Gunnar Gundy, out with elbow surgery. And they've also lost their top rusher and 2 of their top receivers to the portal for injury.
And I'm a bit shocked right here at this decision.
Not going to go on 4th down.
Yeah, it's 4th and 10, and you're on that side of the 50-yard line. I would think that you may try to go for it on 4th down and spark something after the big, huge turnover. You line up in punting formation.
This is their 9th punt of the evening. This one's short at the 15 for Wisconsin, and we'll be back in 10 seconds after a message from Ally.
However you spend your money, having the right game plan is important. That's why we're all better off with an Ally. Back to you.
Under 4 to go here in the 3rd. 24-7 Wisconsin. And what has been a display of dominant possession so far. They've run 24 more plays, and the time of possession is close to 3-1. And so far, so good for those folks, their first Badgers game. Big cutback for Allen, spinning still out across the 30. This one's going to come back. Gain of 17.
Personal foul. Number 96 on the defense.
Not going to come back. Personal foul on Walter Scheib. And the personal foul will add some additional yardage out to the 47.
And I think that's just a little frustration. This offensive line for Wisconsin just hanging on guys. Right? You get the block, but it's the way they're finishing their blocks too. And I'll tell you, as a former defensive player in the NFL, you get frustrated when the guys on the opposite side are not only finishing, but playing through the echoes of the whistle.
All those guys well over 300 pounds up front. Allen now over 100 yards rushing on the night. They'll get it again. Oh, he's good at making guys miss, even when he's just fighting for a couple of yards. Lamont Bishop, who was returned after the injury, makes the team.
Well, he's just showing off all of his assortment of moves, right? Braylon Allen. He's showing off the vision, speed. That last one showing the balance. Just showing you why I think he's the top back returning next year in college football. He's shown it all. He's going to be one of those top backs and could be a dark horse Heisman candidate. Do I dare say that already?
Well, you know, when you come here to be a running back, there's a high standard that you have to uphold. Some of the greats of the game. And to be able to do it quickly, Kirk, like, you know, you come in and play as a freshman and get 1,000, you do it again as a sophomore. How about the fewest games to reach 2,000 yards in Wisconsin history? Only 13 for Ron Dane, only 15 for JT.
Anthony Davis, P.J. Hill, Braylon Allen. Whew. Think about the other backs not even on the list. Melvin Gordon, throw James White, former running back for the Patriots.
Got some ghosts in that running back room when you're watching film every day back in Madison.
The lineage is there.
Wolf. We'll try and go over the top down the far sideline. It's out of bounds, intended for Skylar Bell. Cam Smith had the coverage, and Wolf limping a bit on that leg that already has the brace on it. Chase getting the start, first of his career tonight after the departure of Graham Mertz, who went in the portal. Who had been the starter for the last 3 years.
There's Miles Burkett, who's the backup tonight. We probably may get an opportunity to see him at some point.
That will bound into the end zone after a 49-yard punt. Final 2 minutes of this third quarter. Well, as Garrett Rangel heads back out there, course, the first group of signees putting their names on the dotted line. There'll be another signing period to come and another transfer portal window to come next year. But just to look at some of the newcomers that'll be headed to Stillwater. That recruiting class does include a quarterback, Zane Flores from Nebraska, and as usual, they always hit the state of Texas hard.
But I think the one thing that I haven't seen in a while, and I'm talking about the Oklahoma State offense, they don't have just a go-to wide receiver, like a big-time wide receiver.
They've had so many good ones in the past.
Think of Justin Blackman, or obviously Weapon X, or the X-Man, talking about Des Bryant, James Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had those type of wide receivers where you just throw up the 50-50 ball and able to go get it. So,
well, there is a wide receiver on their transfers that they've got coming in.
Yeah, Dejon Stribling coming from Washington State.
Maybe he's one of those.
But that's just what this offense has missed.
Rangel, good ball fake. He had a man open and Presley couldn't haul it in.
Second down.
I mean, you had the right play call. They faked the screen, and then Presley comes free. Ball just misfired. Those are some of the gimmies, and that's what I think Rangel has missed on a ton tonight, or those layups, right? The easy, high percentage throws, and he's been off on those.
Second down and 10. Final minute of this third quarter. Good run up the middle and a first down for Ollie Gordon. Out across the 45. Picks up 15 there.
Nice physical run there by Gordon. Like the finish on that. There's Miles Burkett warming up on the sideline for Wisconsin.
So that 15-yard scamper, their longest run of the game. Still under 20 total rush yards tonight. Across midfield into Wisconsin territory goes Gordon again. They could use a sustained drive here to give their defense a break. Those guys have been out there a long time tonight. And are they gonna just let this clock run out? Yep. Headed to the fourth quarter here in Phoenix. Wisconsin with the lead over Oklahoma State, 24-7. Welcome back to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. They are jumping around tonight in Phoenix. Headed to the fourth. Wisconsin, the lead over Oklahoma State, 24-7.
Go, go, go. Nice little tradition in Madison, bringing that down here to Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. Oklahoma State, Garrett Rangel trying the deep ball again and spinning around to make the catch at the 5-yard line is Brennan Presley. Their best play of the night since that long touchdown pass in the first half. And now they've got it first and goal and a pickup of 41.
Just unbelievable adjustment by Brennan Presley. That ball's on the back shoulder. He sees it, adjusts his body, torques backwards, grabs that football. Big gain for the Cowboys.
The keeper, Rangel, got a blocker in front, diving for the corner. And they're going to mark him out of bounds. Just outside the 1-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, nice job having the puller right in front. It got enough, but ball comes out on the outside.
Ooh, fumbled it too.
Yeah, he fumbled it.
Good thing that wasn't through the end zone. They're going to run for it here, quick to the line and short. 3rd down and goal.
Short of the goal line. This is where you got to get tough. And here they go, bring in a little extra beef.
DeAndre Jackson, their biggest back. Looks like they add another tight end as well. It's Jackson diving for it, and he doesn't get there. 4th down and goal. Wisconsin back-to-back stops.
It's a nice job by James Thompson, number 90. You got Torchio also. It was a group effort, group assignment. Now we've got a 4th down opportunity, 4th and goal.
Cowboys will get some new guys out there.
Honestly,
Wisconsin will counter.
Yeah, they just changed the play clock. Yeah, I'll call timeout. There's a lot going on. Call timeout. Get everybody set. Nice little chess match going on. Yeah, Oklahoma State substituting, and Wisconsin substitutes.
And both sides counting
Oklahoma
numbers.
State said, I'm going to go, and Luke Fickell said, nah, enough of this. I'll call a timeout and regroup.
We'll take it with them. 4th and goal when we return. Fourth down and goal from inside the 1-yard line. Oklahoma State in desperate need of some points on the board early in this 4th quarter. Had the big comeback win last year against Notre Dame in the Fiesta. Can they do it again? It would start right here.
3 wide receivers in for Oklahoma State.
On the 10th play of this drive, Rangel out of the gun. Keeps it, and then flips it to Ollie Gordon for the touchdown. Jordan Turner had the quarterback dead to rights. And Rangel with the presence to underhand toss it to Gordon in the end zone.
Oh my God, what a play. What a play. You mentioned it, Jordan Turner. He went all, he sold out. He was going for the quarterback regardless. He didn't even look at the run fake. And before that knee touches the ground by Rangel, looking like Patrick Mahomes with the underhand flip to Gordon for the touchdown. I think that's what they're reviewing right quick. But that seems to be a touchdown. Just the presence of mind by Rangel. No, it's 4th down. I got to do something. And he makes the play. And that's an excited bunch over there. 13-0, teaming up for a touchdown.
Well, they will let the play go. The extra point is good. 80 yards in under 4 minutes. And Oklahoma State scores on 4th down.
It's easy. It's 4th down. No matter what, you got to find a way to make a play. Rangel with the alley-oop to Ollie Gordon. Oklahoma State back in business. I can't even lie, what a time to be.
The Guaranteed Rate Bowl is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate has lots of great ways to lower your mortgage rates and make buying your first home a reality. Get started at rate.com.
Yeah, Wisconsin had a great time at the Salvation Army Christmas dinner as part of their community outreach program with the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. They had a chance to play some games, distribute some gifts, have a good meal with children and their families. The Salvation Army Christmas dinner. Cowboys make it interesting here in the 4th quarter with the touchdown. And a 24-14 game. Are they thinking onside kick here? Is it a little too early? Logan Ward will send it. Still plenty of time, 13 minutes to go. DK with the return, spinning his way out to the 37-yard line. And Chase Wolf looks like will come back out there at quarterback after the injury. Stormy Bonatoni with an update for us.
Yeah, Beth, I know it's been a while since we've seen the Wisconsin offense, so we had some time to rest up what appears to be a right calf issue. He was stretching it out for a long time. The trainer put the massage gun to it. He was trying to do some high knees, everything he could to make sure that he was back and available in this game after not being able to put pressure on it early. Additionally, Ches Malusi is back out here on the sideline, but he was in the locker room dealing with cramps for a good bit.
All right, thank you very much, Stormy. After hitting 9 straight passes, he had missed on his last 4. And as Luke Fickell talked to Stormy about at the halftime, if they're intending to get back to their DNA, it's that run game and control that clock here in the 4th quarter.
So with Malusi not available, obviously a lot of Braylon Allen. Look at that total yards in the second half. It's been unable to convert, but it was also, remember, a turnover. Oklahoma State finally got a turnover to help out. Well, their second turnover of the game, but they were able to help out their offense. And now they're asking their defense, Oklahoma State, to try to build a wall and stop this rushing attack.
Wolf with a touchdown pass, but also a fumble and an interception. And here come the Cowboys defensively. Kendall Daniels into the backfield and a loss of 2.
I think that's how you have to build the wall. First of all, it starts with an edge, but you need guys to fill gaps. And Braylon Allen, one of the best backs in the game, he can find the open back. He can find and make a guy miss. But you got to get to him before he gets going. That's a good job by Daniels right there at the point of attack.
What a bright future he has, the freshman All-American out of Beggs, Oklahoma. Badgers have not converted a 3rd down yet in the second half. 3-man pressure. Wolf, a lot of time, throwing it deep, incomplete. And it's 4th down. Looking for Keontez Lewis, and it was Daniels back there running with him. And Kendall a little slow to get up after the collision. So another good stop by the Oklahoma State D. Presley will fair catch it. And they'll start at the 23 after a 43-yard punt. 10-point game here in the 4th. Can the Cowboys do it for a 2nd year in a row? We take you back to the Fiesta Bowl here in Phoenix at the end of last season. Down big to Notre Dame, 28-7. And then Spencer Sanders to Tay Martin. 3 touchdown passes. Tanner Brown booted 3 more field goals late in the game. And a 37-35 win for their biggest come-from-behind victory in school history. And for Mike Gunday, his 11th bowl win. And a similar situation here tonight, down big to Wisconsin. They just scored on their last possession. And now looking to make this a 1-score game, Kirk.
Yeah, it starts off with a completion and then a slip by John Paul Richardson again on this turf.
He goes out injured.
Didn't look good. That was just a routine throw to the outside. He tried to make a move, slipped, and now he's walking off.
Garrett Rangel, 11 for 26, 183 yards, and 2 touchdown passes. Also has thrown a pick, which was actually more of a strip by the DB Jay Shaw of the receiver. Rangel keeps, and he goes down prematurely. Looks like he might be just a tad short.
Yeah, he didn't give himself up. He slipped. I'm not sorry for keep repeating myself, but the footing just is not there. And they got to figure it out. It's already late in the 4th quarter.
And they are 0 for 10 tonight on 3rd down. Here they go, 3rd and 1. Looking for their first of the evening. Rangel hands it off, and there they go. Jaden Nixon for the first down. picks up 3.
Hey, that's a big breath of fresh air, right? A relief. Now, extra set of downs. But they got to press the ball down the field. You had a nice big play to Brendan Presley on the drive before. Try to take some shots down the field.
Flip to Presley on the reverse. And a significant loss here. Well read by Torchio and the D. Uma John Meta, their leading tackler.
Yeah, you're not going to fool that guy. Number 15. 15 in white. That's an all-American type player. A guy who has 5 interceptions on the season. You can't fool him.
Rangel's going to air it out. And the overthrow, again, intended for Brayton Johnson.
I think that's their best opportunity, though, when it comes down to the way the pressure has been there for Wisconsin throughout this game. You're not going to fool them defensively. They are one of the more well-disciplined defenses under Jim Leonard. But what you want is to try to get your wide receivers in a 50-50 ball to where my guy can try to outmuscle or outgain one of these defenders for Wisconsin. That's been the big play for them. They missed it on that last opportunity. Why not try to go back to it?
Third down and 14. More pressure. Rangel gets away from it. Wide open at the 35 is Rashad Owens. And a first down at the 26.
I feel like Jordan Turner, number 54, is probably kicking himself. He had what would have been a sack down here by the goal line, and yet Rangel threw it for a touchdown. Again, he comes free, almost there for the sack, and Rangel avoids him and finds Owens down the field. Tremendous job keeping his eyes downfield by Rangel.
41 yards on the connection. 1st and 10, and the Cowboys are on the move again. Rangel, his receiver, fell down, and now he's got to improvise. And he does that well. Runs for 6 or 7. Jordan Turner ran him out. Looked like they were hoping to set up the receiver screen on the near side, and the receiver bit the turf.
Yeah. They faked the receiver screen. They were trying to get probably a shot down the middle of the field. They almost had one. But no slip.
Second down and 3. Thrown down at the 21-yard line by John Meta is Ali Gordon.
Talk about defeating a block. John Meta just defeated that block. You try to block him, and you refuse to be blocked. Engage, disengage, and then go make a play. Nice job by John Meta on that last one.
So now the Cowboys need another third down conversion here. 3rd and 3. Probably looking at 4th down territory here as well. Presley gets a block, and he's got the first down to the 14-yard line. Rashad Owens was out in front of him.
Yeah, nice job by Rashad Owens, because just him engaging on that block just gave Presley enough, right? Just engaging on that block, and Presley just dived forward for the first down. It's a nice job by the 2 receivers working well in tandem.
Back-to-back strong showings for the offense. 10th play of the drive here. Inside the 10 for Gordon. They could still get a first down at the 4. We're taking a page out of Wisconsin's playbook here with these long, sustained drives. Empty set here. Receiver screen for Presley. A couple of Badgers were ready. Alexander Smith being one of them. And that was John Meta again at the bottom.
When you run a hurry-up, no huddle, quick offense, when you convert on 3rd downs, you get a tired defense. This is a tired defense right now for Wisconsin.
3 straight 3rd down conversions on this drive. Their first of the night. Gordon will try and run for it. Good hesitation. Pops back to the left, and it's going to be 4th down, and it looks like 3.
I don't think you kicked the field goal here. That run was, you don't want to put the ball in harm's way. If you have more confidence, you say, you know what, we can try to sneak one in and get a touchdown, but you've got points, you think. Just try to cut this lead to a 1-possession game.
Tanner Brown is 21 of 22 on the season. And well within his range here. On 4th down, the kicker is on from 24 yards out. And it is good. And it is indeed a 1-score game with 5:08 to play. Well, this season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. There is the trophy to the champion. Oklahoma State has won here twice in this bowl. Wisconsin in their 21st consecutive bowl. And winners of 7 of their last 8, but it has been the Cowboys here in the 4th quarter. Back-to-back scoring drives of 10 plays and 13 plays, covering 149 yards. That's better than their entire first half output. And Wisconsin will get it back here at the 25. And here's our upcoming featured ESPN football lineup. Michigan, TCU, and Georgia, Ohio State, the 2 national semifinals Saturday afternoon. Rose Bowl on Monday night. And how about that NFL matchup on Monday night? Bills and Bengals. Great lineup coming your way on ABC, ESPN2, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus for all the coverage. Beth Mowins, Kirk Morrison, Stormy Bonatoni, the final 5 minutes of our Guaranteed Rate Bowl. And the Wisconsin offense looking to get back on track to try and run this thing out. They have been a bit stagnant here in the second half.
Well, you just had a much better defensive effort.
Yep.
You have guys on the defensive side for Oklahoma State doing a nice job on the edges, flowing to the football, but they're getting more than one guy on the ball carrier. So Braylon Allen was able to make one guy miss, but it's been the second and third guy in this half for Oklahoma State that has really been effective.
Just 64 yards this half after 252 in the first half for the Badgers. 2nd down and 9. Wolf keeps and flips it to the receiver at the 32-yard line. That's Eschenbach, the tight end. And that'll give him a 3rd and manageable. Well, fans, make sure to tune into the ESPN app for the Capital One postgame immediately following the conclusion here in Phoenix. Trophy presentation for you.
Talk about a huge 3rd down here for Derek Mason and his defense, and then Bobby Ingram, the offensive coordinator for Wisconsin. What do you call here on 3rd down? You get an I formation, and you hope to hand this ball off to Braylon Allen.
They'll use Allen as a decoy, batted up in the air and incomplete. Lyric Rawls breaking it up, and it's 4th down.
This is the youth. This is the youth that Mike Gundy talked about. This defense had to grow up as the season went on because they put a lot of young guys out there. And young guys like Lyric Rawls, just a redshirt freshman doing his job. Get a hand up.
Boy, he had to make that because DK was open.
Yeah, you got to get a hand up. Try to make it hard for the quarterback. Make him have to change his throwing angle.
Also of significance, you save all your timeouts because that stops the clock at 3:40 to go. They have all the momentum. They're about to get the ball back. And Vunovich won't make it easy on them. They'll start out inside the 15 after a 53-yard punt. Well, following the ball game, Sports Center from Los Angeles with Stan and Ashley, the latest from the NBA, also the best from the college football bowl season. And J.J. Watt, the Wisconsin legend, announcing his retirement from the NFL at the end of the season. That's all coming up next on SportsCenter.
Yeah. A first ballot Hall of Fame career for J.J. Watt. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. All-Pro.
Yeah, he met with the Badgers at the team hotel earlier today. All eyes now on Garrett Rangel, the freshman from Frisco, Texas. They'll run it on first down, pick up a few. Jaden Nixon, Hunter Wohler with the stop. Tomorrow's triple header on ESPN gets underway at 2 Eastern. This bowl season continues. Now can the Wisconsin defense come up with one more big stop for their defensive coordinator, Jim Leonard? Intercepted at the 45. It's picked off by Cedric Dort. And he's got a return set up, cut down at the Oklahoma State 45 as flags fly. Wisconsin gets the turnover with 2:51 to go.
Yeah, they're going to get a block on Torchio, but what a play by Dort. He was expecting the deep ball. And so as he's guarding John Paul Richardson, he just cuts him off. He outruns him to the spot for the interception.
Turn, personal foul, blindside block on the return team. First down.
So yeah, they get number 15, John Torchio, on the blindside block after the interception, but just a tremendous job by Dort. Remember, it's been the chunk plays that has worked in the second half, but sees eyes in the backfield, and he just cuts John Paul Richardson off. Richardson really couldn't get to the football because Dort outraced him and just got in front of him and made a tremendous catch for the interception. See how he cuts him off at the path? See how he kind of runs John Paul to the outside and just cuts off the route? He's also entitled to that football. Tremendous job by Dort.
Ches Malusi taken down in the backfield and a loss of a couple. Xavier Ross. Dort, I think, got hurt too on the tackle. And now another injured player on the field as well for Oklahoma State. And that is Ross.
Second and 12 at the 39.
Ross on the field. I think Oklahoma State wanted to call timeout, but now they get the official timeout for injury. Still plenty of time for Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State also called that first timeout. They'll have 2 left. 2:47 to go. Ross looks like he wants to try and re-enter here after a play. Malusi stays in at tailback, joined by the fullback Jackson Acker. Here's Bell. Wide open space in front of him across midfield. Cuts back inside the 30. Still going down into the red zone for Wisconsin. 43 yards. Sweeping around the left end.
Oh, what a play call by Bobby Ingram, the offensive coordinator, because they got Oklahoma State in man-to-man coverage. So you had the receiver on the outside who ran an inside route, which took the corner. So when you take the corner inside with the receiver, there's nobody to the outside. You get the Speedy Bell who's racing. There's just nobody there. Nice job on the play call by getting the action going one way and the speedy bail going to the outside where no one from Oklahoma State was there.
248 yards rushing tonight for Wisconsin. 116 of those Braylon Allen. Here's Malusi. Pushing forward to the 12. Clock running under 2 minutes to go, and is that a timeout call here by Oklahoma State? They will have one left. Time now for tonight's Capital One Player of the Game. And it's Braylon Allen with 116 yards rushing and a touchdown tonight.
Yeah, just to think is a precursor to next season. We know he's going to be one of the top backs in all of the country. I'm already calling him as a dark horse Heisman. You have to put him in that conversation as one of the top players in all of college football, regardless of position. It's a great get for Luke Fickell to be able to start the job at Wisconsin, but have that kind of dynamic player on your roster.
He had 4 carries of over 10 yards. Well, Luke Fickell, one of the things he talked to us about this week, change is inevitable, growth is optional. And starting in January, some of those changes will start coming, and how will this team grow and build off their strong foundation with some new looks down to the 5-yard line and a first down for Wisconsin as they try and put the finishing touches on it.
Well, that's one thing that won't change with Wisconsin is that offensive line, that push, that grit. This is a program that has developed offensive linemen.
Up front, Kurt, their cheddar's better.
This is just who they are. They breed them the right way. Guys that come in and they know the program. They know what it takes to play in that conference. Maybe a down year this season, but we'll see what Luke Fickell can do to put Wisconsin right back at the top of the Big Ten.
Malusi. Down to the 4. And that clock will continue to run. Oklahoma State still has the 1 timeout as we enter the final minute of play. And Braylon Allen is re-entering. Had a 20-yard touchdown run in the 3rd quarter tonight. And looking for a capper. No, they'll play action him. Wolf on the run, taken down back at the 7.
It's a nice job, Taysom Taylor. He's had a good ball game.
And that should do it. Game clock is under the play clock. And the Wisconsin Badgers win the Guaranteed Rate Bowl 24-17 over Oklahoma State is your final.
And I was wondering who would get the Gatorade bat. They give it to Jim Leonard. There he is. Jim Leonard gets the Gatorade bat.
For Kirk Morrison, Stormy Bonatoni, our entire crew, I'm Beth Mowens. Thanks so much for joining us tonight in Phoenix. Wisconsin, your Guaranteed Rate Bowl champs. Sports Center is next.
The comparison, yeah, this. Just to be with those guys at any stage, you know, it's amazing for me.
All right, so there's not just his game, which was unbelievable, but how about this? Knicks were up 9 with 33 seconds left to play, and they lost. Teams had won the last 13,884 games with a 9-point lead and 35 seconds left to play. The Knicks, the first team to lose in that scenario.
All right, Joel Embiid averaging over 35 points during the 76ers' 8-game winning streak. Let's see if they can make it 9 with Embiid, Harden healthy as they face the Wizards. And Embiid